We're back. That's right. We're back to working on a 1968 in bright white. Want to move around a little bit? I know I always do, but we're going to get right to it. I got the cab flipped back. However, flip back onto the hoist. This is an ideal time with it right down. I mean, I can lay the rockers right on the ground. I got them up a little bit so I don't scratch them. But when it's down low like this, I can see good and get into all these grooves. It's an ideal time to work on the cab. I can step on a stepping stool and not be up on a big ladder. I can see real good. I can step off and get a good. This is the most important part. When you walk up to a truck, you look right on the roof and the hood. Hood might even be more important. It's argumentative. Got a lot of little rust pitting around this seam, which is going to make body work hard. So those of you guys that are going to do a patina, like I'm going to do on the next truck, you wouldn't spend so much time on this. The issue is when I'm using filler on those little, tiny little pock marks, I can't fill that groove. Because if I do, then I'm going to come back in. It's like artistry, and I'm not an artist. I guess you could argue that too, but you'd have to get that groove clean back out and get it even again. And these, I know other guys have talked about this, but these cab pieces, when they get welded together, the back might be higher and the front might be higher, and not just once. It will transition back and forth across the truck. Just how the stamping comes together. These trucks weren't awesome, perfect lines back in the day. Generally, the back is higher on the corners. I don't know why. It's commonly what I'm finding. So it's a little lower on the top. And as you get to the center crown, the top is higher than the back. Then same thing on the other corner. It'll tip back to where the back's higher. Just the way they were. But that's going to be a lot of work. I won't bore you guys with that one because I know bodywork's not the big show here. But lots of little round corners. Whatever. But I got a good start on this. I might as well show you before we... let's look around real quick. Got to do a shop tour. The hood. I complained last week about the hood. This side was just... I was frustrated. You could probably hear it in my voice. What I did after I turned off the camera, scratched my head, involved myself in a few of my bad habits for a minute. And then I thought, it's not that bad. It's frustrating when you put this much work into it. And if you do ever do it, I just want you to know, stand back, take a break, take a day, whatever you need. But the paint was still, I haven't been locked out yet. Now it's been a week, so I can't just spray paint on this. It has to be sanded. But that day, I went ahead and sprayed the other side after I turned the camera off. And that side is, I don't know why, it's almost perfect. I think there was one little, right here, there was one little, just a little textury spot. The rest of it looks fantastic. What I did, here's the trick to what I did. And you can try it. I tell you, it'll work. Oh, flashing. Yeah, great. Just take your paint, because you already painted it, and load a little bit up on that low spot. It's going to load up evenly. A little bit of it might flow into the low spot, but it doesn't matter. You've built it up a little bit with paint, and then you can come back and sand that paint off, and then that little divot that was a hole would be full of paint. Are you with me? Anyway, I did that all over that side. I did that one spot on this side. I had a little something I didn't like at all right here in the middle. So I used what they call spot putty, glazing compound. I mean, it has different names, but there, I'll get the lights back on for you. This camera's killing me. Well, we'll be moving in a minute anyway. So I oversprayed. I sprayed more paint on them little low spots, them little texture areas. Now when I go to wet, this is ready for wet sand is what I'm getting at. And I fixed that little spot there. So this week, who wants to watch me dip water in a bucket in wet sand? But I'm going to wet sand this down. It'll be all prepped and ready for final coat of paint. So that worked out great. Let's get you over here where we can maybe get the camera to flash some more. So on the door is almost done. Okay, the bottom anyway. I know you guys have seen this door for weeks. I'm slow. I just how I work. But I've got this worked out really nice. All my edges are feathered in. Now, this is another trick. I don't know how well you can see it that I do. I keep a couple of different colored hardeners around. I think I'm out of the pink. reddish one. But the reason I do that is so when I'm sanding, I can see my edges and see if I'm feathering them out real good. If you can see the color changes here, the bottom edge was my sealer from the original, right on the metal basically. And then you come into the first layer skim coat of body fill, and it wasn't enough. So I came back with this next one, and I went with the, I think we've got green out right now. But anyway, it's kind of got a green tint. I'm not good with color, if you guys never noticed that. So I've got that put on there, and you can see, like at the top here, it goes right from this gray to the green. So should just sand that a little more. It should be blurry like this right here. Again, I don't know if you can see that. Blurry is the best description I can give you. When the edges get a little bit like, you got to get your glasses out because they're blurry, that means you're feathering in good. These dark green spots here in the middle is where I didn't put on enough filler because trying to save a nickel. So I got to come in here and I just got to skim those little spots right here through the center a little bit. You know, it looks like down here, just the lightest little skim to fill those in. And then I'll get back to blocking this out. But that's going to finish the bottom. Then we're on to easy stuff. Just this door had some, door dings in it, a couple little spots, the mirror holes. I mean, it's going to take time, but this is the majority of it. I'm going to get that out of the way. So that's it for this bodywork garbage. I appreciate you. But then we'll take you right over. Well, real quick, I'll talk about this. I know you guys aren't here for Kubotas and diggers and stuff, but this is what's taken a lot of my time this week. I was working on this machine. I've got the bucket all rebuilt, bushings, pins, hardware, cylinder took off, and new bushings put in that. So oil change, that's all done. So that used up a lot of my week. And then over here. So I'm at the point now where I'm going to start blocking this out. Where do I want to put you? You guys like the shop tour stuff, I know. Get a good look at this. I can get you right in here. And I don't know, you're not very high. That's all right. We're not doing a lot. You just had your chance, in case you were wondering. So, just to cover this part, it's going to be a quick video this week because, well, I've only spent a dozen hours out on a truck rather than 3 dozen. But I'm at the point where this top, what I did, I've never done this. I usually just skim coat it with body filler. But this roof wasn't dented. Can you see there? This roof wasn't dented. But it had them where the paint all popped off and little rust spots. So I cleaned them, got all the rust off. I used rust converter on them. And then what I'm doing instead of filler, I might have to. There's on that back corner over there. I can't reach. Over in this corner up here in the back. There's a dent there because I'm sure somebody hit it with a hammer. At any rate, I still didn't give you enough. I just used filler primer. I mean, why not? It's such a thin layer. I think I'm gonna get it. So let's do this together. And then I'll let you know if it's gonna work. But what I'm looking at, 2 scratches across the top, and you can see everything that was there. That's not a bad thing, really. But when you first spray your primer on, it just kind of looks great. I'll actually get you up here and show you this. All right, you've watched. You've seen right there how much I did. I'm going to do a little more. Just a couple of swipes with the long block. And then I'll show you what happens. I shouldn't be rubbing on it. And then I'll put you back. I'll give you another opportunity for that thing over there. So what happens as soon as you sand it is you can see all your low spots. You guys see that? See the outline? So my sandpaper scratched the tops of those. And the bottom's still dark because it hasn't been sanded yet. So as you come up here with the sanding block, you just lightly, really lightly go over it. It'll show you all your high spots and low spots. And then you just keep locking it out. Now when you wear through to too much paint, remember paint doesn't sand as good as primer. Then we'll put another thin coat of this sandable primer on there. But I'm looking forward. If I put you on the hood, it'll be too far for you to see. I'll come up with something better if we do any more on this. I probably won't do any more with your roof stuff because I don't know how much fun is it to watch. But it's good learning for both of us. Again, light touch. Don't be grinding into it. Just let it go across. Maybe a little pressure, but just kind of let it go across there. I always do a couple directions. Stay away from these corners, these rounded edges over here until you can use a smaller block, or you can take your block this way. You know what I mean? That worked pretty good. So you can get some high spots. But I'm curious if this is going to sand out, or am I going to have to use filler? I just don't know yet. Yeah, that's fine. I think it's going to work. I really do. I can feel something in my block when I'm going across there. But this is definitely the way to do it. Get you a long block. You can use a 2x4, but it's just nice to have something with grooves in it. And if you happen to dig on something, 2x4 is a bit hard. Let's take this down till we start showing paint. That way I can show you guys. And I'm just going to put another coat of filler primer on top anyway. What I do, oh, I should tell you guys, and I can't remember the guy's name. That's no fun, is it? Oh, David, thank you for joining the channel this week. I appreciate you very much. I was watching a guy who does a paint channel, and I couldn't believe it. It was the first time I've ever seen a guy do this on YouTube with a wire brush. I thought I was the only guy. I told you guys I bring you stuff you can't find anywhere else. Well, there's another guy out there doing it. Yeah, I didn't originate the idea. I was just saying. All right, get you something to look at here. This roof ain't gonna be as bad as I thought. That Spanish gold, if you guys are around for that one, I bet I did, I don't know, 30 coats like this. But this, I cannot believe this sitting in the barn. Well, mine sat outside is why. But this didn't rust any worse than it is. All right, that's going to do for today. Well, let's lock this out back here a little more. There's a crown to it. You got to be careful. Yeah, I should have my small block for that, but we'll stay here in the middle for another minute. Just dust that stuff off and keep right on going. Now you can, I've done this, I'm cheating, but I'll show you. Put my forearm on the end of the block and your hand on the other end. See how I can kind of make it bend? You don't want to dig like that, but if you just need a little crown, I sometimes do that. Light pressure if you can. A little curve. Yeah, everything's an art. This part's actually doing pretty good. A little bit back here. You'll get the idea. Trying to do this as even as possible over large areas. All right, let's show you guys how that's looking. Now, before it looked good, then I showed you how I started sanding and it looked really kind of better. Now, it don't look so great. But that's all right, it's what we want. The high spots right here where it's hitting, these are low spots. But you can start to see where I filled. This is pretty smooth. This is a little low right here still. This here is really smooth. I'm pretty happy with that. Another coat, maybe two, and it's going to come out nice. Got a couple of dents in the back too. I think I told you guys. One here, one there. I'll do those later. So now you know what I'm up to this week. What are you guys up to this week? Oh, it's always something. It's springtime. Going to be farming soon. I'm still going to do my channel every week. I'll try to keep it rolling quickly so he's not just seeing the same old stuff. But a lot of times, every time I come out in the shop, I look at the same old stuff. That's how this works. Get this knocked out, and then we can get, and I want to get the back finished up. I'm going to work on these side pillars. There's a little more detail to be done. I'm not going to put this in paint until we move it because I'm probably ding it, scratch it, chip it, something while I'm moving it. But as soon as the top and this front is done, and I've told you guys 100 times, you're probably tired of me saying it, this is going to be a lot easier to work on without there being a motor and everything in front of this truck. So that's take advantage of this situation. I can get this header panel, top of the glass part, just tightened right up good, right in this dash area, all that. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. Then the cab's going on the chassis. We'll have a whole new view on the channel for a while. Not much left. I mean, cab on, I got fenders, hood's going to be painted. We're going to assemble some stuff this summer, next month or so. All right, thanks for coming. I'm going to let you guys go. We're going to see you next week. Thank you for coming. I mean, I appreciate it. If you want to see me do something, tell me what you want to see. I'll make sure I do that in detail. Otherwise, I'll just keep getting this stuff finished. Have a good week. Take care. Gotta go.